Welcome back. It's a Fulbright Friday with LP and LT.
Oh, how you doing, LP?
I'm doing well. It's our final episode. I think this is our 40th episode of
Oh
our.
my gosh, it's like an anniversary or something.
Oh, we should be
Oh, we
popping
should
champagne or something.
celebrate. I know. I should like solicit chocolate and gifts from our fans.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have actually thinking about it being in, kind of like the social distanced, and it looks like we're probably going to be here for another year working from home. I actually had for the first time this week a thought that was like, I don't like maybe I could stay at home forever. Like I don't hate being here. Like I might have gotten to the moment where I accept it, which means that when I go back out into society, I'm going to have a really rude awakening because there's going to be people there, right?
Mhm. Oh, yeah. I
And I'm
mean, I think we've talked about this before, but we already struggle in situations where we're interacting with others, where we just want to be in our own solitude and space. I mean, that doesn't, we're not antisocial.
yeah, no.
I mean, I think we are social people. Obviously, we're what our line of work is a pretty social line of work. But like, for instance, we're getting our hair cut.
Hmm.
Like, I just don't want
Yeah.
my
Don't
hairstylist
talk
to
to me.
talk to me. I just want to be there. I want to just like look in the
Yeah,
mirror, not because
yeah.
I'm vain, but just because like
Yeah.
that's it's
We
like
should have filters for that, like what kind of experience do
yeah,
you
we
want?
talked about this. This could be like our
Yeah.
side
Mhm.
hustle is creating
Please.
an app
Yeah.
that different people
Yeah.
use for you to click
Hmm.
whether you would like to engage in conversation or whether
Hmm.
you prefer
Hmm.
to just be with
Yeah.
your thoughts.
The plane thing essentially too, like when people are
Yeah.
talking to you on a plane, you're just like, no, like people and not reading the cues. It's really hard sometimes. And my cue observation and the mission of cues is probably going to be really off when I go back into society. I'm going to have to like readjust how I interpret and then also offer cues. This is why I usually hang out by the food or the drinks, because then you have observable material. You're like, oh, look, it's soft cheese. I'm not doing soft cheese right now. How's the cheddar? It's like, it's an open invitation to start talking with someone about the food or the drink.
Okay. Well, today we wanted to touch upon what happens after you submit your application for the final time to Fulbright in the online portal. So there are review stages that your application goes through. The first stage is the National Screening Committee stage on the U.S. I'm going to drop my computer.
Oh,
On the
really?
U.S. side of things. So what this means is your application will be read alongside all the other applications of people applying to that grant type in that country. So if you're applying to a Spain ETA, your application will be read alongside all the other Spain ETA applicants. Depending upon whether you're applying to a research study grant or a ETA grant, your selection committee members will be slightly different. So for research study applicants, they will be 3 faculty members from different disciplines who have some sort of regional expertise in that country, who will be evaluating your application, looking for the kinds of things we've talked about previously: feasibility, strength of purpose, these kinds of things. So they may not be in your disciplinary field. So there may be like an urban planner, a historian, and a physicist who are reviewing your application. The ETA candidates are reviewed by 3 individuals who have expertise along like in the kind of realm of international education. So they might be people who work in who are language instructors themselves, who do teaching English as a foreign language. Those kind of individuals who will review the ETA applicants. They will create a short list of candidates that will then go to the second review stage. Lauren, take it away.
So once you clear the first round, or if you clear the first round, you will be notified typically in the 3rd week of January by email, either way, whether you're advancing to semifinal or whether you are applying with us next year. And in the instance that you go forward, you are then going to be read by your inbound receiving country. And what that means is you will either be read and reviewed and selected as a kind of a semi-finalist for the final grant by a group of in-country administrators that work in international education exchange programming at what's called a Fulbright Commission. So the commission is an entity that is often sponsored by the host country government that runs a lot of programs. And in this instance, they're looking at the applications, they're selecting the final recipients. We don't know as much about their academic backgrounds or their kind of interest areas and whatnot, but we do know that they're going to have that kind of in-country eye and review when they're looking at making the final selection. Now, that's not the case that there's a commission in every single competition and every single grant type. Some of the smaller programs don't have a commission, and in those instances where there's not a commission, you will be read and reviewed by local, the embassy in the host country. Oftentimes, those are going to be like your foreign service officers or administrators. Oftentimes, they are American, but they may be working abroad, or they may be working with host country colleagues, but there's a little bit of a different angle in terms of the selection of the finalists if you're run out of a commission or if you're run out of an embassy. But in either case, again, you will be finally selected by the host country commission or the embassy, and in both cases, you're going to find out whether or not you are a finalist, which means you've received the award, by email sometime starting in March and kind of continuing on through the end of April. By email, you will also find out if you are an alternate or if you're a non-select. And at that point, you have completed the Fulbright application process.
And we just want to note, though, since those decisions aren't coming out until March and April, we understand, obviously, you might be thinking about other options, you know, pursuing different paths, as you should. I mean, apply to as many things that you're interested and eligible for. But since that's kind of later in the academic year, there may be other opportunities that come your way that you're considering taking. If that's the case, please have a conversation with us, because we can help think through your options. In some cases, it's a possibility to like defer graduate programs in the States in order to do your Fulbright, because from the graduate program's perspective, it's a win-win. If you receive a Fulbright, then they're getting a Fulbright recipient, and you are bringing that to your graduate program. So please have a conversation with us if you are get to that point and are thinking through potential options, because we can help guide you like we always do.
Yes, we shall be your advisor even after you have found out and gone on and done your thing. I don't know what this was. I'm just like, just always be your advisor. Ready?
Oh, I'm always ready for the questions from the
last time for the pumpkin for the 40th episode. Oh my gosh. Can we do some like 40 here? Okay. All right. It's a good one, and it's also the last one.
We haven't gone through nearly half these questions.
I know.
Our fans were just so loyal, writing in on
this one's so good, but it takes thinking, so there may be a pause here.
We can do more thinking. What is
I know. What mystery do you wish you knew the answer to?
Oh, I don't know. What mystery do I wish I knew the answer to? And it's like kind of the question about like conspiracy theories that you like.
Oh, that's a good way to think about it. Mm-hmm. Like who shot Kennedy?
Right. That's like, I mean, that's like the obvious one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did we go to the moon?
Let's not give rise to conspiracy theories, actually.
I don't want to be like, It's a Fulbright Friday does not like put out fake news. That we landed on.
No, we are totally true news.
True news. All right, come on, LP. What do you want to know the answer to?
What do I want to know? Do you have an answer to this? Do you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully it's okay. I would like to know about the features or not of God. A thing, not a thing.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like the meaning of life kind of seems like a mystery that would be actually, if you solve it.
I guess also that goes to like the start of the universe.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, like thinking about the universe, I mean, maybe I would not be an astrologist. That's actually not the right thing. Astronomer.
You're Gemini for life.
But that just fascinates me, and I can't spend too much time thinking about it because I just get overwhelmed about the universe. Because like I can't. Can anyone wrap their mind around that? Like really?
Yeah. And sometimes maybe you don't want to know.
Yeah.
Because how do you know if the mystery? How do you know you want to know? Because if it's a mystery and you find out you can't go back and unknow.
I mean, that's kind of thing like when. I feel like it's like one of those like getting to know people questions, but like if you could know, and this may be too kind of morbid and creepy, but if you could know like the date of your death, like would you want to know?
No.
Like no.
No, it would be a countdown central. I would be like, oh, no.
Because then you wouldn't know if you did something to actually, by knowing if you did something
Yeah.
then to
That's
accelerate that
true.
process.
I might take more risks or less. I can't.
Right. Which then might then make that come true. So, wow,
Yeah.
I just jumped around from astrology to the universe to then.
I think that's great. It's just a way to end of the season. See you next year. Hopefully we're not in our houses.
Yeah. Actually, I think about this actually quite regularly. Like if you were told something that was going to happen to you, but like taken out of context, that information, you'd be like, what on earth?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, would you want to know? Because then that would freak you out. Like, let me try and think of an example of this.
They need to put you on the writing team for Black Mirror. Identity is just a story we tell ourselves about ourselves.
Well, that's deep. But I was also going to think, like, if you had told us, like,
Can we be in a pandemic?
well, no, if you had like, no, but to take another snippet of information, if you had told us like 7 months ago, you were going to spend a year at your house, like not leaving, I would have been like, are we in nuclear war? Like, I would have,
That's true.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know how I would have taken that information.
Now, are you sick for a year or something?
Right. Like, I probably would have gone to something like that. I would never in my, like, never imagine.
The probability is much higher that you would be sick or well, hopefully not nuclear war, but yeah.